A little while. What does that mean? What does that feel like, a little while? I went to the doctor's yesterday, and I was in the waiting room, and I got there 15 minutes beforehand, just like they wanted me to, and all the chairs were all spatially distanced and all of that. And so I'm waiting, and there were two other people over here, one person over there, and one person in the hallway. And they eventually began to call names, and that one went, and those two went, and that one went, and there I sat. Some more people came in, and they signed in at the reception desk. They went, and they went, and they went, and there I sat. And I'm looking at my watch, and I'm there 40 minutes by now, and they went, and they went, and they went. A little while. What does that feel like? What does that seem like, this little while? We're at the Last Supper with Jesus, and he's sharing with his disciples about the pathway of suffering, the evening of suffering, the long day hanging in the cross of suffering. And he's telling them about that the night before it was to happen, and their hearts were troubled. So Jesus just wants to assure them, in the midst of suffering, in the anticipation of suffering, wants to assure them that he'll be with them. It's hard sometimes to trust. It's hard sometimes to trust, especially when we're suffering, especially when we're grieving or mourning, or when we're going through that terrible night of suffering. It's tough for us to trust that Jesus is near, and that he'll get us through this, and that this time is indeed just a little while. I sense what the Lord calls us to is trust, and that's not always easy. It's not always easy to trust that the Lord's plan is going to unfold just as it needs to, and there'll be grace around every corner. But we need to trust. Trust in his promise of just a little while yet.